Hey y'all, Mike with Cardboard Kingdom. Welcome back to another Disney Lorcana video. Today we're going to be talking about 5 cards that I feel like are underpriced in the current Disney Lorcana market from a collector's point of view. Whenever I talk about cards that I'm saying it might be worth speculating in, buying, etc., I always like to lay a framework of how I'm coming to these decisions. First and foremost, I like these cards. Well, I like the art. I might want them in decks. I might want them in a display. Might want them in a binder. Overall, I just want to collect them. I like where they're priced at in the market, and so I'm bringing that framework to these purchase decisions. Secondly, I am agnostic to the price. If I pay $25 for a Mirabelle and it goes down to 20 or 15 tomorrow, I could not care less. I look at Lorcana as a very long-term collectible. I have no desire to sell in the short term. Sure, I sell cards here and there, absolutely, but in terms of like my long-term outlook, I do think it's going to be a very long-term time frame, and so therefore I'm very agnostic in the price. Lastly, I have no interest payments coming due. I will not have to sell this card a week after I buy it because I've got some sort of credit card payment, anything like that. I completely all of that is not on my radar. It's not a part of my current situation, so I can move freely amongst these cards, buy cards that I like and not be forced to sell them. Okay, so that's the framework that I'm looking at these particular cards at. So the first card we're going to talk about today, Mirabelle Madrigal Family Gather Store Championship, the set champ card from 2 sets ago. This is a card that was the first set championship card that was an 8 of. So it went from the top 4 in the first 2 championships getting trophy cards to the top 8 now getting trophy cards. A lot of the hardcore grinders and even collectors don't like that because it doubled the quantity of these cards. Therefore, they're less valuable because more people have them. They were easier to obtain. And while that is true, when you look at the other trophy cards, Stitch is almost at $500 now for a raw copy, and Ursula's around $100 for a raw copy. This card is all the way down at $25. Now, obviously, those other cards are older than this card. There's a lot less quantity of cards of those previous iterations of the set champs in this card. But $25 for this card is a disgustingly low price. This is a card that has an amazing art. It has an amazing character. Sure, it's not that playable in any decks right now, or so it would appear, but it is a card that has a lot of potential long-term in terms of just overall IP, enchanted artworks from a set championship. It didn't come out of a booster pack. It has enhanced rarity and scarcity due to that, and so overall, I think this is a no-brainer. When you think about the time it takes to win a card like this, no matter what, even if it's top 8, you're still talking about like a 5-ish hour time commitment to get this card, and that's honestly on the low side. So someone had to pay roughly $20 to play in the tournament. They had to spend 5 hours of their time, and now they're selling this card for $25. I don't know about you guys, but I certainly value my time more than $1 an hour, and therefore this card being $25 is an absolute buy in my opinion. Once again, I have the connection to Encanto because my daughter and I have watched it a ton. I love Mirabelle, I love the movie, I love the story, and so this is a card for me, absolute no-brainer. $25 is free 99 in my opinion. Once again, if you don't like this card, if you don't like Mirabelle, if it goes down to $20 tomorrow, you're going to say, why did I buy this? Don't buy it. Next up, we have the Scar Heartless Hunter. Everything that I said about Mirabelle applies to this card as well. It is a little bit more expensive in terms of being $30 instead of $25. But once again, someone had to pay, spend 5 hours of their time, pay $20ish to enter into the tournament to even win it. Here we are sitting at $30 for a card that right now it's very recent. It was the most recent set championship. Sure, there's more out there than the previous iterations of the set champs cards, like the Stitch and the Ursula, but there is not that many where this card is only a $30 card. I think when we look at this thing, even from a 12, 24, 36 month time horizon, getting up to 5 years, I think this card will be much more valuable than $30 as the set champs continue to age, continue to happen. This card is worth more than $30 in my opinion. So that is the second card. Third card, the Prince John Gold Lover. This one is a little bit more speculative in the sense that there's not a lot of extreme fundamentals behind this card. Prince John, not near as popular as a character as maybe Mirabelle or Scar, in addition to the fact that this card is not obtained in any sort of like skill or like a trophy card type style. This was available in a Disney Villainous tabletop game from Ravensburger. It was a promo that came inside of it. Now, this promo has came down quite a bit overall in terms of price. When we look at the trajectory, it was selling for over $30. Now it's around $16. You'll notice that every card that I'm talking about today is kind of bottoming out in terms of pricing. Mirabelle was selling for 53, currently available at 25. Scar was selling at 65, currently at 32. Prince John was selling at 32, currently down at 16. So a lot of these cards I feel like have kind of been cut in half and seen a significant retrace. And these are times when I'm looking to, build my or accumulate these cards, build my collection of these cards. Sure, they could go down a little bit more. I can't see the future. I feel comfortable paying these prices. Prince John is another iteration of that. Once again, it does not have the provenance that the first two cards have, but I do think it's a cool alt art. This is the only way to get this art. It is a card in the set, but the card in the set has a different art than what you see here. It is a promo and it had a limited print quantity in the sense that it only comes in the Disney Villainous boxes. There's no way to get it apart from buying that product or buying it on the secondary like we are here. So I think $15 for this card, once again, half as much as it was going for originally. I think it makes a lot of sense, and I'm fine with paying that price for a long-term speculation. One of my favorite purchases right now is the Alien or Stitch Alien Buccaneer, the Stitch card from the, let me see if I can't, I apologize. Probably the green screen always messes up, but the Stitch card from the portfolio that came out with the Azurite C set with set 6. I personally, that's my daughter's current binder. She loved this card when we got it. It's got the enchanted foil on it. It's got the promo indicator. It is just a standard, like design, standard art, standard text, but it does have the enchanted foil and a promo indicator, and you can get it for less than $2. I found someone selling these for $1.50 a piece, and they sold me 40 of them. That is what I'm talking about. Give me, I like it, I love it, I want some more of it. So these are the things, I've obviously been around for a while. I've been buying promos consistently, almost on a daily basis, and so have a decent accumulation of various different promos, whether it's organized play promos, Stitch promos, etc., things that I'm constantly looking at and I think are an absolute steal today. So this is something that if you're looking to just add a couple enchanted foils to your binder, if you're looking to get a couple cards for your kids that look cool, that might appreciate, like for example, my daughter will have a full page of these. Just, look, I mean, they're $1.78, free 99, looks cool. Iconic character. The kids know Stitch. They like Stitch. Stitch is an iconic IP, enchanted foil, limited distribution. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. Last but not least, this one's a little bit more speculative than the others, but I think that the price will justify it. Kronk Laid Back. This was the promo that came out with Arcasia's Island for the buy a box promo. If you buy a booster box, you then in turn got this promo. I watched my LGS pull this out of their back room, and it looked like there was a stack of maybe like 50. I don't know if they had more in the back. I don't know the total circulation of this card. Obviously, it's their first buy a box promo. I'm sure they made sure that there's a plenty available. But the cool thing about this is, A, it's the first buy a box promo. Secondly, it's got the unique text, kind of coloring here, the lore coloring. It's a dual link card. And it's got the new organized play promo. Kronk is a cool character, so it has a lot going for it to me, so I can justify spending $2 for this card. In addition, my son literally put one of the copies that I have. I traded for one copy. I got my copy for my order, and my son, I came in the hallway the other day, and he had it in his mouth. So I have a card-eating 3-year-old now. That's the only time it's happened. It wasn't that bad, but it's just funny more than anything else. But this is a card for $2 when we talk about all those things I just mentioned. Dual link, unique promo, special way to get it, first iteration of its kind, unique artwork, like a lot of things going for it. And so $2 for this card, I think makes a ton of sense. So these are cards that, look, if you're like me and you plan on being around for a while, and examples like this that I'll give you is obviously the Stitch Set Championship card. That card was a steal at $300. Bought a ton of them. It's now up to $500. Now, look, I'm not a seller right now in this current market. I'm still definitely in acquisition phase, but I think these are cool cards that you can get a little bit of a supply of. This card, is it ever going to be a $20 card? Maybe not, but it could be. Is it going to be a $5 card? Yeah, I think so. Maybe it's over time. Is the Scar going to get up to $100 over time? Possibly. Is the Mirabelle going to get to $50 over time? I think so. So, these are cards I'm going to be around for a while. I have no problem speculating on a couple copies of these. Should someone come in 2 years from now, 3 years from now, maybe they've been in Pokemon this whole time. They're still fighting at Costco. They're still doing what they got to do, sleep outside Target to get product. Maybe in a couple of years, they'll get sick of that. They'll come over to Lorcana, They'll realize how great the art is, how good the game's doing, the competitive scene is thriving. They've got all these cool plans. There's now their kids turn on Disney Plus, and there's now a Disney Lorcana animated series happening, and they want to come through and collect some of the cards, right? They got to catch them all. I will gladly have a few extra copies to part with down the road. And that's my whole outlook whenever I'm looking at these cards, these promos, limited distribution, somewhat scarce, somewhat rare, definitely rarer than like a set card. So when you talk about like an enchanted out of a set, those cards are going to just have the most amount of quantity possible, because while they are rare and they are incredibly hard to pull, they are set cards. So they're printed in mass quantities. That's not to say they don't have value, and there's not to say there's not underrated or undervalued cards there. There is. Those are a lot more gathered, or those fluctuate a lot more in terms of the speculation on playability. And while I think they are very collectible, and I mean, I've got a stack of them here, I think that these are lower cost basis. They still have enchanted foils in a lot of cases that have a lot more room to run in the short term because they're very, very cheap. And I think the cheap promos are getting massively underlooked. And honestly, you can even extrapolate that little, just extra tidbit here. You can even extrapolate that if you just go to set and go to Disney Lorcana promo cards, filter high to low. Obviously, you have all sorts of great, amazing promos on this page. Huge proponent of promos. That Lilo card, gorgeous. I absolutely love it. But then you even get to some of these, like there's 20-cent cards still. Like Jolly Roger Hook Ship, not the coolest card, not the best promo. It's 20 cents. Is it worth picking up, 10 copies of that, spending a couple bucks? And then should it ever get to $1, your 2 turned into 20? Like that's a decent possibility. So I have a lot of these cards, most famously the Cinderella. I've been preaching that card for forever, but my cost basis on this card is like 25 cents and I have like 1,000 of them. So, I mean, is it ever going to be a $5 card? Maybe not. Is it going to be $1, $2, $3? I think so. So if I can turn 13 cents into $3 down the road, sign me up. Iconic IP, cold foil, one of the earliest promos ever released. All that I'm looking for. But I'm going to be around for a long time. I can sit here and watch this card go from, it was up around $1 to now it got down to 56 cents. Now it's at 69 cents. I don't care. I'm not checking the price apart from this video. I could care less what these cards do in the short term. Once again, I'm going to be around for a long term. If you are as well and you align with those fundamentals that I mentioned at the beginning of this video, then maybe these cards are for you. If they're not, fair play. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you like these cards? Do you feel like they're at good prices? Are there other cards that you're looking at? I would love to hear your thoughts and your speculations in the comments. Thank you very much for watching, guys. We'll be back with another video soon.